Alright, so we're back. Hopefully I've actually gotten a chance to sideboard. Unfortunately, it looks like because of the disconnect, I won't actually have time to talk about how I sideboarded. But yeah, again, this is just a fine hand. It has basically in combination like a total of like 2 to 3 disruptive spells, and that's all you can really ask for. Unfortunately, my opponent has a Glistener Elf, which is fairly bad for this hand. The fact that he just got a threat down before all of my disruption means it's a non-zero chance that there's very little chance I actually just straight die this turn, but it's not going to be great. I played the Polluted Delta over the Bloodstained Mire because I have an excess of blue mana in this hand, and Bloodstained Mire gets both non-blue basics, while Polluted Delta only gets one of them. It's kind of a small thing, not super relevant, especially in this matchup, but it's something to keep in mind, I guess. Second Glistener Elf, that's fairly bad. And he's just Distortion Striking? Okay, I guess. I mean, that's good, I guess. I'm taking a lot of infects. So does that mean he has Vines of Vastwood in his hands? I'm slightly confused as to what just happened there. So I'm definitely going to Thought Scour myself to turn on the Murderous Cut. Okay, so it looks like this is still my pre-board configuration because I boarded out the Young Pyromancers. Which, I mean, isn't a huge deal, but it's kind of annoying that, like, Magic Online, like, lets you sideboard and then just doesn't accept that you've sideboarded when you've disconnected. It's like the small things like that that really get me about it, but obviously, I don't know, it just is what it is. So now I have the choice of trying to Murderous Cut this. So if I try to Murderous Cut it and he has Vines of Vastwood, then I just die on the spot. The question is am I ever going to be able to beat a Vines of Vastwood this game? If I just let this resolve, I take 7 infect. At the end of turn, I Murderous Cut, you delving 3 cards, leaving me with 3 cards in my graveyard, including the Murderous Cut, so 4 cards total, including the Bloodstained Mire next turn. So you'd have to cast some other card this game, this turn, for me to be able to Snapcaster or Murderous Cut, and I'd have to be able to Spell Snare it, and even though that doesn't even make any sense, because then I wouldn't even have an extra mana to spend on the Murderous Cut. Delver 1 less. So I think given my hand, I'm just so unlikely to ever beat Vines of Vastwood this game that I should just not play around it. And I fully expect to die this turn, but I mean, what can you do? If he doesn't have anything, and I get to untap with Snapcaster Thought Scour to dig to like another answer in my deck, that would help. If this were the Dispel, I probably boarded in like if this were like the Dispel that I boarded in the Young Pyromancer for, that would obviously be great. I'd be like a huge favorite to win instead of significant underdog, but also again, what can you do? I want to leave the Thought Scour in my graveyard because that's the card I want to Snapcaster, and it looks like my opponent does not actually have Vines of Vastwood in his hand, which is great. It means I have a bit of a shot. So I go to 5 infect this turn, and he doesn't have any other pump spells either, so that's great. So now I have a very real shot. So this is another card I boarded out, which, I mean, all this is fine, but it's moderately I don't know. Moderately annoying just because it's like these are cards I specifically brought out. These are like even like fine cards in the matchup, so it's not terrible, but still a bit, uh, you know, like just very pointedly like mocking. All right, so yeah, so I'm just gonna flash in Snapcaster to draw a card with Thought Scour here. I'll wait until the end of his turn to Thought Scour, because if he does play a Blight Agent, I'm willing to give up a card to Spell Snare it. And hopefully I'm still not dead. If you didn't do it last turn, there's no way you should do it this turn. If he didn't try to kill me last turn, it's unlikely that he's capable of killing me this turn, or at least even that he'll try to kill me this turn. So yeah, so I do want to play the Young Pyromancer before the Probe, just to get a bit of a clock going. And I want to leave the fetched land up before, like, it's more worth not letting him know that I don't have, like, basically I'm almost certainly going to get a shock land with this. So like fetching and shocking is obviously very exceedingly aggressive. So if I spell Snare here, he's going to get spell pierce. That's fine because I get a token and it means that he doesn't get to attack me with the Nexus. So both of those things I like. And like, even though I have a bunch of lands, the spell pierce is like pretty close to dead at this point. Like the Spell Snare doesn't have like that many targets in his deck, and just getting the token now, preventing the infect damage, both of those things are valuable enough that I just wanted to do them. So now both my water graves are gone, so this only fetches basic mountain now. So I probably just want to fetch the basic mountain out of my deck to make sure I don't draw it off of Serum Visions. And then Serum Visions to hopefully find some relevant interaction. Well, Lightning Bolt is unfortunately no longer relevant because Spellskite has resolved. I mean, I don't know. Like, neither of these cards is good. For sure, neither of these cards is good. The question is whether they're good enough to keep. Which they might be. So this turn I'm going to attack him down to 10. This turn I'm going to attack him down to 10. And then next turn I'm going to attack him down to 7. And then playing the Gurmag Angler is actually... And then playing the Gurmag Angler puts him on a 1-turn clock, and then he has to block with souls. So I think I'm actually going to top this, because it gives me a reasonably clear path to victory, and I already have these 2 disruptive spells in my hand. Yeah, so my plan right here, so he's going to go to 10 this turn, or not even going to go to 10. Okay, so he's going to go to 8 this turn, and next turn probably 5, and then after that he's going to almost certainly be dead. And so yeah, and he still needs to resolve a pump spell to kill me. So I think I'm in a good spot here, but just because I have the Deprive. So next turn he's like not even threatening normal lethal. And so yeah. I don't need to play Watery Grave untapped, but I guess I might as well. I think there's basically no cost to doing so. And maybe it just like puts the fear into him a little bit more, or maybe he has like a Stubborn Denial type card that I can get value from. So since it's a post-board game, I'm just going to exile my creatures and lands first, and then my cantrips and just leave the relevant interactive cards in my graveyard. It's not relevant. I know my top card is a lightning bolt, so there's no reason to do this, but it's good to be in the habit, I guess. And yeah, so now he has to beat 2 counter spells, which is not pretty close to impossible, not like 100% impossible, but maybe even 100% impossible. I don't know. I'm very confident in my chances of winning this game, to say the least. The lightning bolt on top of my library would have been relevant had he not like taken the first hit from the Pyromancer and then also like cast Jataxian Probe, but as is, just these cards was sufficient. Alright, so I'll be back for round 2.